time. And we could only serve it to you in a goblet. And then at that time, I didn't know what the hell a goblet was. I had thought a goblet was what the witches cooked their soup in or some shit.
That's a cauldron.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I was doing. I was like, what
you probably thought that she said goblet. And like, what the fuck? She gonna bring me a goblet?
Like, what is this? Like, what do we get into? Like, oh, man. All of a sudden, like, you know, it just shit. But anyway, she brought this fucking amazing little fucking goblet cup. I mean, amazing beer. I smelled it. I was like, this is not beer. It doesn't look like beer. It looked like some fucking shit that came out of a fucking Game of Thrones or some shit. It looked really good.
Don't talk about Game of Thrones.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we can't throw names out there and shit because
they're gonna want us to pay them.
Yeah, screw them. Either way, yeah, so no, she gives me this fucking badass cup, dude. It's like, oh, what is this? This has to be the holy grail of like beer. So I just, you know, it is the first time I ever tried to go all out and like smell under the aroma of a beer. I don't know what made me to do that, but it made me just start to smell. I smelled like freaking Megan Fox's butt or some shit. You know, it was like amazing. It was amazing. It smelled so good. I was like, what is this? I took my first sip. Bam, dude. It was like the best freaking beer ever, dude. Seriously. Yeah. Yeah. I think that right there is what literally popped the cherry. And
well, yeah, I remember after that, your experience with the Golden Drag, you had came over to my house one day. And
you brought a bottle?
Yeah, you brought a white bottle. After that, you're like, you know what? Guess what? I got something to show you. You know, this and that. And you fucking pop that bottle. We're chilling with some friends here. You know, we drank that shit. Got some yerba buena.
Oh yes.
Oh, and then after that, we had a good time. And
life wasn't the same after that, right?
No, it wasn't, because after that, we were like chasing the dragon and shit. Like we needed to get the next fix.
Yeah, we didn't even know what the hell. Like, this is amazing stuff. Like, I mean, if they would have made T-shirts or some shit, I would have bought it. And I'm not even I'm not a groupie, you know. But damn, behold that day, I became a freaking groupie to Golden Drag. It's crazy. I think that was like our main entrance.
See, but that's still like, yeah, it's craft beer, and it was like we're still like kind of.
You know what? You're right. We can't consider that craft beer because it was an import. It was Belgian beer. They've been established for like
a long time,
maybe the 1800s, and they're probably like gonna be like, "Hey guys, you guys are idiots. I mean, we're not crafting this shit up. We've been doing this like forever." So my bad. But that did introduce.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That turns us to the direction like saying, "Hey, you know what? We have beer like that here. You know, that's amazing." So
yeah,
the first amazing beer I think we both agree that we both tried was Stone Arrogant Bastard.
Oh, that was boss of the wall fucking beer, dude. Boss of the wall.
I remember my roommate Anthony came over with this beer, and I was just like, fuck. And I remember seeing the label. I was like, oh, that shit looks pretty badass, you know? It's a gargoyle and shit. And after that, he was like, you gotta try this beer. At first, I'm not gonna lie, I thought like, damn, this is like bitter as hell. And then my friend had to educate me a little bit by showing me, hey, you know what? They don't care about your fucking, what you think about the beer. Because in the back of the label, it said, this beer's not for everybody, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
You know, they're the ones that say, you know, have their crazy sayings and stuff.
Hey, maybe next week we should do something like that. We should go ahead and, like, get ourselves, like, just to kind of do, like, a throwback Thursday and get an Arrogant Bastard and kind of, like, do, like, before and now kind of review. Let the guy. I mean, man, I'm pretty sure they already tasted it, but, I mean, I would like to taste Arrogant Bastard again.
Well, there's a few of them there. They're out right now that maybe you haven't really tried all of them, but it's, like, a few of them. Like, one of my favorite ones that I like is the Belgium Cali. That's
awesome. Not Arrogant Bastard, though.
Well, no, but it's part
from
of
the company
Stone.
But I'm talking about Arrogant Bastard straight up.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, see, guys, I mean, our background comes like, you know, we used to look for the beer and the time that gets us fucked up. And one of those beers that filled that gap was 211. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with 211, but that shit fucking...
Dang, you're bringing up 211s?
Yeah, I mean, this is where we go. I'm trying to let them know where we're coming from. We're coming from like 211 all the way up into fucking Arrogant Bastard, and then to being like pinky up, fucking white bottle.
Well, actually, we have more beers that we're talking about, but you know, this is our first show, so we'll get to those beers later. But like you said, right now we're getting to the core of how we started. So I think everybody's getting a little education how the big boys started. There's actually a lot of members, which we're going to introduce one by one.
Before we introduce anybody, I mean, one thing, if they've been hearing this, like, if they've lasted with us past these fucking 20 minutes, I think is what we've been talking for. Why don't you go ahead and explain to them why we're called the Big Boy Brew Show? I mean, because they don't really even know what the big boys are.
Well, it started out as a bunch of friends just drinking all together.
No, rewind. Tell them why we're calling this the Big Boy Brew Show. I mean, let's let people.
I don't know. I thought, I'm supposedly I'm the president, right? And I don't even know the answer. Let me see if I can.
No, it's pretty cool. It's cool. Like we're a group. We'd like to drink. We'd like to consider ourselves a group of drinkers, a group of lovers. Some might say.
Oh, but one of our things is that you have to hang, man, because if you're one of those fools that couldn't hang drinking with us,
There you go. Yeah, that's our philosophy.
Believe me, we won't pick you up or hang out with us.
Yeah, we dabble.
Unless you're like a clown or something, then we just clown you all day.
Good beers, bad beers. We've actually had, this is a good story. Maybe we'll get into it if we don't have time, but I think my friend got a gift. I think it was a 24-pack.
Oh, that was me.
Yeah, okay.
The beers around the world?
Yeah, dude. So, we were not seasoned travelers, but he had, Gruesome Gary over here got a gift for Christmas, which was a 24-pack.
I'm pretty sure everybody knows where to get that. You get that at Costco.
Yeah, it's seasoned, like George's Christmas. And you get 24 different beers of, like, around the world beers. So we was like, you know what? And everybody usually thinks about, like, oh, let's go just drink one beer each or whatever. But we was like, nah, let's share. Let's share the wealth.
How many of us were, like, 4 of us?
I think it was. I think
Four
it was
or five.
me, you, Chemo.
I thought it was me, you. It was Pedro was there for sure.
Perro was there.
I think it was 5 of us. Me, you, Chemo. No, 6. I had to be 6.
David and we're missing someone else.
I think that was it.
Might have been.
We're all hanging out behind my bar in my house.
Yeah, we were drinking like little. I mean, we were all taking like maybe 2 ounces of these beers each.
I thought they were like 2.5, 3 ounces.
Around there, yeah, give or take. And yeah, we did this little thing where we're gonna drink the whole 24-pack. Just between 4 or 5 people.
It was a sampling of a 24-pack.
Which was pretty badass, because you know how you get these flights and bars and stuff like that? We did like a huge 24 flight thing. So we get to judge the beers and we put them on. There at the time, our first place was what?
It was Oatmeal Stout.
Picked by who?
I don't know. I remember.
That was me, man.
That was like 20 years ago.
I picked that shit. I picked the best beer right there, and then.
Supposedly, I picked the worst one,
yeah,
which was Francis Connor.
No, it wasn't Francis Connor.
It was Francis Connor.
It was not Francis Connor. It was something else, because if it was Francis Connor, we would give you props. But
no,
he picked this one beer that we put like Windex, hairspray, motor oil ahead of. We had to move it all the way back there.
I'm sticking to my story. It was Francis Connor.
Okay, whatever. Francis Connor's period is what you gave us. Horrible. But, yeah, so let's get back on track. So that's how pretty much the Big Boys started as kind of like a little fraternity.
We were actually pretty deep at one time. I think there was like 15 or 20 of us at one moment.
I like to still think we are.
Well,
we still have...
In heart, maybe, yeah, but...
I mean, people just grew up, they got families.
No, but we started getting fights with people.
No.
There was civil battles between us.
I don't think, no. They don't want to hear about the drama. I think they want to hear more about the good things.
You want to hear the good better than the bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, we're here now. We're doing this show for the sake, because we're thinking, like we're gonna talk about exactly what we like drinking. I mean, I think craft beer at the time where it's going right now, it's blowing up, and it's blowing up in a good way. I can't stand hipsters. I'm sorry. Serious shit.
Hipsters, they take 90% of our fucking listening right here. Damn. They're the sponsors, man. Come on.
Guys, if you learned this, just bleep me. Yeah. Well, I mean, I just think that beer should be enjoyed, not trying to use as a badge. Like, oh, I've got this, I got that. I think the best thing about having craft beer is actually hanging out with your friends and drinking a good beer, cheering and everything. That sounds...
Okay, we have like 5 minutes left, but how about we get into like a subject? We talk about your first beer that you brewed That was
No,
amazing.
we'll save that.
You want to
We'll
save that?
We're gonna save that.
Oh, what?
Because we only got 5 minutes, so we had enough minutes to kind of like dibble dabble and talk about stuff like we'll save this for next week. You guys like their show? Go ahead.
Let's talk about Perro's beer then.
Yeah, all right. But you haven't even know people don't even know who Perro is.
Whoa,
I mean,
he's an up and comer.
All right,
homie that's brewing some good beer. If you guys, this will be broadcast on my fucking my Facebook, so I'm pretty sure you're gonna know who he is.
Yeah, he's gonna ask what's his username?
I don't know, Caesar Mora.
That's his username
for like his thing. You can find him on Facebook. But yeah, he's been doing some awesome beers lately, man, and
follow him.
I'm surprised. Later on, we'll probably do little reviews on his beers, also with Dake's beers. So we're gonna be basically reviewing.
You're gonna hear about that. I'm actually working on a little project. It's called Saint Prado Brew. You guys are. I'm gonna enjoy it with my friends, and if you guys are interested, just write down your comments, see what you guys want to hear about, because I'm actually going to be working on this new project. It's going to be a Belgian ale. This is just speculation, but I'm thinking about working with maybe a Belgian ale and give it a hint, maybe of hibiscus or guava. But I mean, if you guys have any opinions, go ahead and shoot them down on the comments. I'm going to be reading that stuff. Gary's going to keep me informed. And I mean, whoever's interested, maybe we'll meet up or whatever, and I'll give you guys a taste. I got a spot where you guys can taste them.
Alright guys, well, I'm going to thank you guys for listening today, and join us again next week. We'll have something new to talk about, different beer, different little stories that we've been through.
Yeah, well, cheers guys, and
keep on drinking.
Keep on drinking, because we're the wild, wild, wild bad boys. Let's do this.
Big boys!
That's where I'll stay. Swimming upstream, I maintain against the grain. You're labeled as a lunatic, sequestered and content. They're ignored and defeated by the government. Ignoring public whose magnetic forces pull, but away from the potential of the individual. Against the grain, that's where I'll stay. Swimming upstream, I maintain against the grain. The flow is getting stronger with small increments of time, and as these new ideas are increasingly hard to find, you need all that the other has is your right to seize the day. But in all your acquisitions, you will soon be swept away. Against the grain, that's where I'll stay. Swimming upstream, I maintain against the grain. There's a common consensus and an uncomfortable cheer, a reverberating chorus that anyone can hear. It sings, leave your cares behind you, just corrupt tenaciously. This long sense of purpose will destroy us rapidly.